We're back with another 2021 player outlook. This time we're talking Zack Moss, running back, Buffalo Bills. And as always, if you love what's going on here from the RotoHeat team on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification icon. You'll stay up to date with live streams or any other player profiles or any other content we drop. All right, so of the 13 analysts that looked into Zack Moss for this outlook, we think he's going to finish somewhere between running back, not wide receiver, 37 to 43. One's buying, 5 are holding, 7 are selling. So they're leaning more towards hold or sell, obviously. And we think his ADP is probably going to be lower next year than it is currently now. The team thinks he's going to be a spot starter in 2021. And if you look at places like Fantasy Pros or some of them for the redraft side of the ADP spectrum, he's around running back 35 or 97 overall. If you're looking at RotoHeat for our Superflex kind of dynasty-specific rankings, then he's looking very similar, running back 34 or 128 overall. It's a tough situation here. So Buffalo has plenty of attempts to go around, but they're a team very similar to Baltimore in the sense that their quarterback gets heavily involved in the running game. So when we look at the stats from last year, Devin Singletary led the team with 156 attempts. Then Zack Moss was right behind him at 112, and Josh Allen was at 102. So when you look at things, I mean, they have like 400 plus rushing attempts to go around, which doesn't sound bad. If you had 1 or 2 running backs, you were for sure kind of going to split the load. In this case, we have those 3, and they added Matt Breida in the offseason, who, fantasy owners know. Matt Breida is a name that with San Francisco was a guy that people were rostering and keeping an eye on. So all that being said, the team is not insanely high on Zack Moss. Moss and Singletary should share the duties and get a very similar split, kind of in the 150-ish range potentially per player. And they both had very similar per carry averages, 4.3 for Moss and 4.4 for Singletary. Singletary got less rushing touchdowns. I think it was like 4 to 2. Singletary only had 2, Moss had 4. But then Moss also had a receiving touchdown. So Singletary didn't have that last year, but Singletary had more receiving yards and more targets. So, it's kind of a back and forth. I think they have a very similar value ceiling if you're looking at the player. What do you think? Are you a Singletary guy, a Moss guy? Do you like them both? Do you not like them both? Let us know in the comments below. When I look through the different analyst notes on the player, Moss is not in an ideal situation. He doesn't have the talent to overcome a guy like Devin Singletary. They both have value in certain ways, but then adding in a player like Josh Allen, who is big, physical, can get out and evade the pass rushers coming his way, or can do designed running plays. It just makes it very difficult. They're all talented players, but none of them truly stand out above the others. So there's going to be a lot of sharing carries. And that makes it tough when you break it down to the weekly basis. It makes it very tough to figure out who you're starting, who's the guy you're going to lean on. So that's what makes you, look at him as kind of a spot starter. So let us know in the comments below. Are you leaning on him as an RB2, RB3? Where's he at for you? Let's keep this conversation going below, and don't forget to check out the other 2021 player outlooks, and we'll talk to you again next time.